Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020. Today it's hop to the top with Grasshoppers and we are taking on Creens in the first league game of the season. First things first, thank you ever so much for that massive reception on that first episode that came out last night, less than 24 hours ago when you're watching this. We've already blown through the 500 likes target, which is absolutely mental. So I'm really pleased with that. It means you're going to get a video every single day this week, Monday through to Sunday, every single day. Usually we only do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday. This time we're going to do every single day of the week because you guys have absolutely smashed it out of the park with that likes target. We want to keep it going though. We want to keep the likes target going because likes really do help the videos grow. So we're going to set a target of 400 on this one, purely because everyone will watch the first episode, but not so many people watch the second episode. So if we can keep it up to about 400 likes on this episode, that would be marvellous. Now, there's a few things to go through. Obviously, we need to talk about more team players because we went through a few players last time, but not everyone. So we need to talk about a few more players in the starting lineup today, and also why the fixture list has also changed as well. That's probably a big thing to perhaps start on. The fixture list has changed because yesterday's episode, I recorded that in the beta version of the game, just so I'd have an episode where I introduced the team out pretty quickly. That's why the game came out and then less than an hour later I had that episode out for you because it was already pre-recorded. I then started a new game when the actual game came out to play through pre-season with all the updates properly in place, so nothing was really broken or anything like that. And it turns out it changed the entire fixture list. So we have a different fixture list now, but that's the only change. Right then, where do we actually start with today's episode then? Because I have sold some players, and perhaps we start there just so you can say these players were in the team, now they're not in the team. So we might just start there. The best place to probably start is Marko Basic. We spoke about him last episode. He's the guy on £8,500 per week. Now, he was about to leave to Lausanne for £150,000, but he rejected the contract, so he's still at the club earning ridiculous amounts of money. Lausanne, interestingly, are also in our division, so he would have been going to a rival of ours, but I wanted to save that money. In terms of other transfers, I've made two. Don't panic. None of these are me. I've brought no one in. No players have been brought in. And I've not sold anyone, but these are all players that have left in real life. I have sold two players. I lied to you. I sold two players. The first one was Nikola Georgiev. He has now gone to Preston. He went for, what was it in the end? £575,000. That seemed like a good bit of money to me. He's a right winger, but wasn't the best at the club and didn't have the best potential either. So I thought we may as well get rid of him. We're not going to use him that much. Similar sort of situation for Roberto Alves, attacking midfielder, £400,000, gone to Bristol City, and basically it doesn't matter too much. So we've made nearly £1 million already off player sales, which is absolutely fantastic. It means that the deficit is now only £28,000. Before it was, what was it? It was £500,000 in the red. Now we're only £28,000 in the red. So it's not too bad. Projection-wise, we are still looking at £9 million in the hole come the end of the season. But hopefully, we'll try and move on a few more players throughout the season who don't play a lot of games, and this figure will start to reduce. As a consequence of those sales, the board are delighted and very pleased, respectively, with the financial aspects of those deals. So I think I've done a good job. The board are very happy with me as well. They're not crossing me for selling under 23 players, so I think they're on board with those sales. Moving on then, we have now got our first game of the season against this team called Creens in the Swiss Challenge League. Exciting stuff. If we have a quick look at the season preview, we can see that we are favourites to come second, with Lausanne, who were about to sign Basic, favourites. That would have been a massive coup, I suppose, for them to sign one of our players, and he could have helped them win the league at our expense. That would have been quite unfortunate. The team we are playing against today are favourites to come 8th. They're a newly promoted side, so really we should be walking all over them. But that's on paper. Anything can happen in game. And so this is the tactic and the team we are going to go for today's game. I'll talk you through every player in the starting lineup. But first of all, just want to quickly touch on the formation. We're playing a 4-2-3-1 control possession style of play. For me, this is the formation and a style of play that I use a lot, which is a bit boring, I suppose. But it's a style of play that I think works. Now, I think what we're going to use more often is this other formation, but the players to use this formation are injured at the moment. Instead, we're going to use something like this. It's a 5-2-3 with some wing-backs. 3 centre defenders, wing-backs, 2 central midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders, because we've got so many good attacking midfielders and a striker. This formation is going to change things. I think this formation could work really well, actually. I've never used anything like this before. So I'm excited to use it. It's worked to relative success in pre-season. We have switched between these two formations quite a lot over pre-season. We've also got quite a defensive formation as well for if we have a tough game in the cup, for example. But I don't expect to use this formation much. For the most part, we're going to be using this one and this one for most of the season. But for this first game, we're going to be going for the 4-2-3-1. So starting right at the back, we have got Salvi in goal. Mirko Salvi, the best goalkeeper at the club, 25 years old, 3.5-star current ability. Looks like a pretty solid goalkeeper for this level. Nothing really standout, but nothing really detrimental. So don't expect world-beating quality saves from him, but I think he should be a good player. Mostly for under-21 squads by looks of things. Had a few seasons in the Super League, actually, with Lugano. I didn't realize that was Super League. So has played top-flight football before. This season in the Challenge League, hopefully he's going to be the best goalkeeper there and keep plenty of clean sheets. Moving along the back line then, the first up, we've got our left back, Cabral. I can't pronounce his first name, so we're just going to call him Cabral because that's his name. 3-star current ability and 5-star potential. He's one of these wonder kids that have come through. He's an inverted wing back, which I'm not sure if I like or not, but hopefully he can play well. Also, let's just get the attribute analysis up there so you can see that lovely graph instead rather than just an empty biography. Again, nothing massively standout, but his physicals are pretty decent, and obviously only 20 years old, got plenty of potential, will get better, and hopefully his physicals will really bump up, and that'll be really good for us. Unfortunately, not a youth prospect of ours, came from Sion, but it doesn't really matter too much, has some training at Sporting as well, so has got some good football pedigree behind him. Hopefully he does quite well for us. Now, when I first saw this guy's name, our first centre-back, I thought it was Papa Sore, but it's not, it's Baba Suar. Although I'm probably saying that wrong, so someone will have to correct me in the comment section. But again, 2.5-star current ability. It's not the best for centre-back with 4.5-star potential. But where it matters, he's got some decent stats, and I think he will do a job for us this season. We've then got Svetkovic, Alexander Svetkovic. He is a Serbian centre-back, the best centre-back at the club. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential apparently, but at 24 years old, I doubt he will get there. But he looks a lot more solid across the board than Sore does, so I think this guy is going to be doing well, leading the line at the back for us, being that central defender that we need in the squad. He's been at the club for a few seasons now, but was part of the side that did get relegated, so perhaps he does leak a few goals at the back. We need to be a bit more careful with that, perhaps. And completing the back line at right back today is Aragoni. He is a 20-year-old right back with 4-star current ability. Again, his physicals look okay, but nothing else really. This is the theme now, isn't it? Nothing particularly stand out, but decent physicals, which seems to be a bit of a trend for most of our players. He's come through our under-21 squad after joining from an under-18 team, so I don't know if we can claim him as ours or not, but he's been at the club for quite some time, but not really been exposed to the first team, which he will be now, because he's the best right back at the club apparently. So good luck, Aragoni. I love your name as well, because it reminds me of Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. In fact, that's a nickname already, isn't it? That is a nickname already. Set the nickname, Aragorn. Moving into the centre of midfield, we need to swap these two chaps over, because in the deep line playmaker position, we've got Salatic. Now, we spoke about him briefly last episode. He is the best centre defensive midfielder at the club, but today we're playing him in the midfield instead. 3.5-star current ability. He's the oldest player of the squad as well, 33 years old. 25 caps for the under-21 squad, so at some point, he must have been pretty good. Obviously not so much now, but despite his age, still got some good physicals. His mentals are really quite impressive for the level we're playing at as well, particularly work rate of 18 and anticipation of 17. His marking and his tackling are decent enough, I suppose, to level. These might let him down a little bit, but really good mentals, I think, for his age. Partnering Salatic in the middle is Najie, which I'm probably pronouncing completely wrong, but his first name's Alan, so we'll just set the nickname to Alan to just get away from all confusion and pronunciation errors that could throw up. So Alan is starting in the central midfield alongside him. He's a 20-year-old player with 3-star current ability and 5-star potential, and he actually looks like a pretty decent player already. He's got some pretty impressive mentals, which I'm pleased with, and some pretty impressive physicals. His technicals obviously can be improved, but at 20 years old, they're only ever going to improve. So I think Alan is going to be a massive part of our team coming to the future. Moving into the attacking midfield, these are the players that I'm probably most excited about. Buff in the middle, Oliver Buff, probably one of the best football names I've ever heard in my life. 4-star current ability, we spoke about him last time around. We don't need to talk about him too much again, but his technicals are incredible. His mentals are really good, and his physicals are a little bit less desired, actually. They're not brilliant, those physicals. That's a bit of a contrary to the rest of the team, but he looks like he's the best player in the squad. He's a star player, earning some big bucks as well. Hopefully he won't be too bad this season. Has played for Zurich, our neighbours and rivals who share our stadium as well. Played for them for a long time, so I don't think he's very popular in Zurich, the city we're playing in right now, but he's very popular with me and popular with the Grasshoppers fans, I would imagine. If he scores plenty of goals this season, I'll forgive him for playing for Zurich for so long. We've got two young players either side of him. Sukev is the first one that I want to talk about, or Sukachev. again, pronunciation things, you're going to have to correct me on all of these in the comment section, as you normally do. He's actually a right-sided attacking midfielder, but does play with a left foot. So I just think it makes sense to retrain him as a winger on the left-hand side of the pitch with 5-star potential. I just think that makes sense. So we're retraining him on the left-hand side. Hopefully he picks it up pretty quickly because he's going to stay there most of the season. He should be a pretty decent player. He has come from our own youth system. So that's the first player we've really brought in from our own youth system. So he should be quite good this season. And on the other side, we have got Peter Pusic, who looks like a very, very good right winger. Again, 5-star potential, 3-star current ability. Plenty of bids came in for him over the transfer window, which we have rejected because he's really good. Physical's really good, technical's really good, mental's really good. I mean, what more can you say about that? And again, another product of our own youth academy. So we've got 2 youth academy players out on the wings. Hopefully they'll be doing the stuff for us. And then leading the line forwards, we're actually a little bit light for strikers, but Nassim Ben Khalifa is going to be leading the line forwards with 4-star current ability. And across the board, he's not that bad, but he's not brilliant either. If we look at the attributes, octagon, decagon, whatever it is, for a striker, we're looking for a nice heart shape. And this isn't more of a heart, it's more of a slightly squashed circle. So he's not quite the prolific striker that we want. His attacking attributes, as you can see here, aren't brilliant, really. They're in the yellow just about. So I'm not too pleased about that. But hopefully we've got some good players coming through, which we'll delve into the youth in a couple episodes' time to look at what players are coming through. And I think we've got 1 or 2 players that could come through and actually replace him in the next season or so, who are probably a little bit better attacking-wise. So hopefully he scores the goals for us this season. But I'm not holding out too much hope for him for this journeyman of a striker. I didn't realise how many clubs he's been to. He's been to quite a lot, but has played for Wolfsburg and was signed for 1.4 million at one point. So it must have been good back in the day. So that then is the starting lineup of your Grasshoppers side. I mean, they're really good players. We'll talk about the substitutes as and when they come on the pitch. There are some good players on the bench. Quite a few players injured as well. And this guy is out on loan and he looks really good, which I'm really annoyed about. He's a 20-year-old player who's got 5-star current ability. He's the best midfielder at the club, but he's out on loan at Empoli. And I imagine they'll sign him at the end of the season because there is an optional future fee clause of 430k. So I don't think we need to even think about this guy, Bajrami, because I think he's going to go at the end of the season because he is the best player in the squad, and why wouldn't they sign him, Empoli? With that all being said then, let's submit that team and go into this first league game against Kriens. We're looking for our first win of the season and opening our account in the Challenge League and trying to mount a challenge to win the league come the end of this season. So kick-off is upon us. And I'm hoping for a superb game. So pretty early on then, we've won possession back through a nice interception there as Buff comes forward. Ben Khalifa's open. How's he missed that one? Okay, well, I mean, I was telling you how his attacking stats weren't brilliant, and within 30 seconds of the game, he's shown us that, yes, he is absolutely terrible attacking-wise. So we might have to think about signing a new striker in January or trying to bring someone up from the youth ranks. We'll have to see what we've got in our locker. Rather worryingly, Kriens seem to be the slightly better side in terms of chances created at the moment, which I'm not too pleased with. I want better than this, boys, as Pusic gets on the ball there, looking to try and come forward. Now, we need to get a good attack going. We need to be committed with this attack. Now, in the Manchester United beta save, we played tiki-taka, and it just annoyed me so much because we did it and delayed around the whole attacking procedure. I want to get there a bit quicker, and we're not doing that today, which is already annoying me as Salatic comes forward into Suakev, who looks like he's going to put it into the middle, into Buff, can't quite get there, but the left back that we've got, his name is his first name on here. I want to say Cabral, but he's got his first name. We'll have to just nickname it to Cabral instead, so it actually comes up on here, so I can actually pronounce his name when I see him. But Oliver Buff makes another good interception, plays it into Ben Khalifa, who should have run straight on with it, instead doesn't, but gets past the defender into Buff, and we've grabbed our first goal of the season. Oliver Buff with... I just love that name. I just think it's so cool. He scores the first goal of the series for Grasshoppers. We're 1-0 up against Kriens, and it temporarily moves us up to second in the table. I was criticising Ben Khalifa there, but actually, he's done very well to grab himself an assist there, and a great goal from Buff, 1-0 up. So as we approach half-time, looking at the table quickly, by looks of things, there isn't a big scoreline apart from Areo. I mean, again, I need to learn Swiss or German or French, whatever they speak. Is it just Arrow? I think that just could be Arrow, to be fair, but just spelled in a weird... Because AAR in English with ON on the end is Aaron, but AU there, is that just Arrow or something like that? I mean, again, I've got plenty of Swiss people who've already told me they're watching this, so you can tell me how to pronounce everything, and I'll promise not to offend you too much. But at the start of the second half, we need to be scoring a couple more goals. I want to make sure we're on top of the table for the first game week. And by looks of things, Arrow have just scored another 3 goals out of nowhere. So they're now +4 goal difference. So we need to score 4 more in the second half, which I'm not quite sure is going to happen, especially now that the clock's ticking down really quickly, up to the 70th minute now. So we're going to make some changes out there. And we're going to take Ben Khalifa off, and we're going to bring Subotic on the pitch instead, who is probably the main striker at the club, but I don't think he's as good as Ben Khalifa, which means he's probably actually terrible. He's got very, very good heading and finishing, though. The shame is, we are playing wingers this formation. We'll put him as a target man for now, actually, because we're playing wingers in this particular formation. The reason I didn't start him is because he's a sole target man, rather than being like a pressing forward or a deep line forward. So I just think he's not very useful. But actually, with wingers on the pitch right now, he could be okay. He's been all over the place as well, including Portsmouth in the Premier League at some point. Never played for them, but by looks of things, was probably there at a similar time to Peter Crouch, maybe. So no wonder he wasn't in the side, because Peter Crouch was a designated target man there. What a journeyman as well. He's been literally everywhere. I mean, South Korea, Romania, Azerbaijan, Moldova, Kuwait, Ukraine, England, Belgium, Switzerland. I mean, he's been all over the place. What a story. Either way, he's going to come on the pitch, and we're going to make him a target man on attack to try and score a few goals from the headers. Unfortunately, Peter Pusic, who I was bigging up quite a bit, is on a 6.3 rating right now. So we're going to take him off for Giotto Morandi, who is a youth player with 5-star potential. Not quite as good, and he's actually meant to be more of an attacking midfielder, but is really versatile and can play anywhere across that attacking midfield line, which I think is fantastic. So we're going to be using him plenty this season as a backup player, but can come on the right wing right now. He is also not a regen of ours. I thought he was. I've gotten confused with someone else, but he's been at the club for a long, long time, so it's absolutely fine. Also, did I just call a real player a regen? I didn't mean to do that. Obviously, that's completely wrong. So, substitutes made, and it looks like we've got a throw-in in an attacking position. If we can get this ball into the area and Subotic can score from the head, that would be absolutely fantastic. That would justify my tactical selection. There is Aragorn coming forward on the ball into the middle, not quite onto Subotic's head, but it goes back out to Sukev on the other wing as we get it back into Salatic in the middle, back out to Cabras on the right hand side. But look, come on lads, do something with this. Stop messing around. We chose this particular style of play so you wouldn't just mess around the area with it, but you are doing, and I'm not pleased with it, as Oliver Buff shoots from distance and scores. He's proved me wrong there. That was worth it in the end, wasn't it? We go 2-0 up against Koreans, which is fantastic. Buff with his second goal of the game as well. Not a fan of how empty the stadium looks. We play in a 26,000-seater stadium, which is probably way too big for us, really. And also not very realistic, because in real life, it's got a massive running track around it as well. Anyway, as the game comes to a close, we've really improved in the second half, dominated proceedings as well, and we've ended up winning 2-0, a clean sheet, 2 goals to Oliver Buff. There's not really much more I can ask for that, is there? Passionately then, well done lads, that was a good win for us, and everyone looks delighted by that. What I do find concerning, though, is after every friendly, and this game as well, there are players looking complacent there with their body language, which I'm not too keen on. I don't want them to come here and think that it's going to be easy, because it's going to be a really tough league. What I suppose is quite lucky for us, though, Lucerne, who are favourites to win the league ahead of us this season, they've drawn their first game of the season, so we're going to be very careful looking at them this season. We're going to keep track on them. If we can get, 4, 5, 6 points ahead of them early doors this season, it puts us in a fantastic position. Apparently that was a fan day, and there's a bumper crowd of 6,970 in a 26,000-seater stadium. Doesn't really fill me with hope that we're going to get big crowds this season, unfortunately. But hopefully that's a positive, and hopefully we actually get maybe 7,000 plus. I'm not quite sure what level we're building from. I assumed that Grasshoppers would get quite a big following. Clearly not, though. So I'm going to go away and play a few of these games, and obviously come back tomorrow for next episode, where we're going to take on Lucerne, who are apparently the team we are going to be challenging for the title this season, according to the pre-season preview. Again, we're only going to be doing one game next episode, because I want to spend some time next time also looking at youth prospects in this old development centre, and looking at a few players who we could be bringing through, like Randy Schneider and Aslani as well. They both look like they could be decent players. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Hope you have enjoyed. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me. 400 likes is the target we've got on today's video. If we can reach that, that would be absolutely amazing. If you're new around here, of course, please do subscribe. It would be great to have you on board as we push forward now. We're over the 13,000 subscriber mark, which is crazy. So hopefully we'll be at 14,000 very, very soon. We can give away another copy of Football Manager 2020. And I'll see you next time for some more I can't believe I'm calling it this, hop to the top. Every time I say it, I'm just laughing to myself and thinking it's really cringy. But I've called it that now. We can't back out. It's hop to the top. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.